Hello and welcome to today's discussion on GS Paper 2 Week 9. The first question was, what is the advantage of the first breeder reactor program in India? See, first of all, understand that the India's nuclear program has three stages: stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. In the stage 1, what happens is that your natural uranium is fed into the pressurized heavy water reactor. The pressurized heavy water reactor is nothing but the basic device that is used to produce electricity. Now, from this pressurized heavy water reactor, what happens is that there is an output. The output is nothing but your depleted uranium and your plutonium 295. This depleted uranium and the plutonium that comes out of this pressurized heavy water reactor is fed into this fast breeder reactor. So indirectly what we can say is that the waste from the stage 1 is the material or the fuel for the stage 2. Hence, in the stage 2 of the fast breeder reactor, what we see is that first of all, it is utilization of the waste, number 1. Number 2, the waste that is produced is also reduced, because again the waste that is produced, that can be again used for the refueling of the plutonium reactor or the fast breeder reactor. So basically one thing we get is that this is environmentally friendly stage, or this is the environmentally friendly process of production of electricity. Now understand this. What is the advantages of the fast breeder reactor program in India? Now from this, first of all, basic what we got from the understanding is that the fast breeder reactor program is nothing but your second stage of the the second stage of the India's nuclear program. So basically the fast breeder reactor program is the second stage of the nuclear program, nuclear power generation, that envisages the use of plutonium 239. Basically we got plutonium 239 from the first stage, obtained from the first stage reactor operation, as the fuel core is fast breeder reactor. What are the advantages? First, electricity generated by the FBR would be a source of green energy, as the waste from the first stage nuclear program is reprocessed and used as a fuel in the fast breeder reactor. Again, it generates more fissile material than it consumes, means it generates more material than it consumes, means whatever material that comes out of your FBR or the fast breeder reactor as a waste is rather more of a fuel for the fast breeder reactor. Now in this question itself, I have given you the map location of where our important power plants are, or nuclear power plants are. I request you to remember this. If you are a geography optional student, then this is quite essential and will help you in locating the maps or in the map location. Next, how the application of the science and technology has helped India in the socio-economic development. See, application of the science and technology, basically first of all, is that ki literacy program. See, your DD channel, DD education channels, that basically the literacy program, that is the ongoing program that is basically being done with the help of your space technology, or from the space telecast, or from the satellite telecast. Second, with respect to agriculture, we first of all, it actually helps in mapping the potential water resources. It helps in mapping of the soil. Again, it helps in understanding the topography. These are some of the factors, these are some of the things that we actually gain out of the space technology for the agriculture purpose. For the climate, again, it basically helps in predicting the rainfall, number one. Again, it helps in predicting natural disasters such as your cyclone. Again, this helps in predicting your the wind pattern, the temperature, pressure, etc. Next, groundwater. Remember that the application of the science and technology has been utilized for detection of the groundwater. The Bhuban Bhujal, the Bhuvan Bhujal is a portal of the ISRO that maps your groundwater. Now, groundwater mapping is very much essential for everything, even for your agriculture. In this context, we can see that the application of the space and technology has been significant in the socio-economic development of India. That would be your basic conclusion. So with this, you can basically see it's a 5 markers question. So you have to handle it strategically. Give an intro, Give this 4 points, elaborate this 4 points and a simple conclusion. End of it. Next, what is nanotechnology? Why is nanotechnology one of the key technologies of 21st century? See, understand what is nanotechnology. Nanoscience and nanotechnology are the study and application of extremely small things. This is the simple definition that I found it from the net. Even I have not created it. Next. Now, now the question is that key, why is nanotechnology one of the key technologies of the 21st century? See, and its numerous application in various fields makes it a key technology of 21st century. Even if you start your introduction from here, there is no harm. But if you are describing what is nanotechnology and you are starting it over here also, it's also so far so good. What are its applications? See, in the field of agriculture, nanosensors to monitor the soil, plant health, deliver water, nutrient, pesticides, fertilizer to improve farm efficiency, etc. Again, in the field of health, nano delivery of the drugs in animal as well as human. In computer science, nanoscale computing, data storage can decrease the size of the storage disk. Other things that you can also take up is for the, see, in the purpose of the defense also nanotech are being utilized. You can go through the net and add some examples also. See, with this I would simply say that write 4 points and then conclude. But remember that the key thing that we need to highlight is that why is nanotechnology one of the key technologies of 21st century, and why is it a key technology? The reason being is that its numerous applications that makes it a key technology of 21st century. Next, what is the standard positioning system and the precision positioning system? See, both standard positioning system and precision positioning system are the outcome of the services that are being provided by your US GPS. Now, what is this GPS? It's nothing but the global positioning system that takes the help of satellites above the Earth's surface to precisely locate the various locations as per the requirement of the user. Now, India also has the Navik. India has a Navik. We have a GLONASS. GLONASS is basically of the USSR, or sorry to say Russia, and then we have the Galileo. Now, the standard positioning system is the positioning of time and service available to all the GPS users broadcasted in GPS L1. What is L1? It's nothing but the Lagrange position of the satellite. If you want to write this or you do not want to write this, no issues with it. But simply understand that standard positioning system is nothing but the general services of position and time services which is available to all users broadcasted. Now, the precision positioning services is highly accurate military positioning, velocity and time services broadcasted by both GPS L1 and L2 frequency. See, if you're writing GPS L1 and L2 frequencies, at least the examiner will have the perception that this person has made a detailed research and that whatever he is presenting is accurate. So writing GPS L1 and L2 will basically give accuracy to your answer, and accuracy also fetches mark. With this you are going to get at least I'm saying that you will get a 3.5 marks. Absolutely no one can cut you from this. Next, overuse and free availability of the antibiotics without doctor's prescription contributor to the emergence of the drug resistant disease. See, major reasons for the drug resistant disease are your diseases like your MDR TB and XDR TB is due to the consumption without consultation. Remember this. What is MDR? It's multiple drug resistance TB, and XDR is nothing, extensive drug resistance TB. What are the reasons? First, lack of adequate knowledge, negligence, lack of regulation of the sales of drugs. For example, like we said that where the drugs are being sold without the prescription, fear for the high cost of the health expenditure, availability of the drugs without prescription. Conclusion is that Indian government has started the certain programs such as the classification of the drugs, red line program, etc., not just to increase the consumer awareness but also to enhance the regulation for the sale of the antibiotics over the counter. Simple. Next, what is your World Wide Web and how it is accessed, and what is the role of the search engine in the www? See, this question has 3 parts, and again this question is for a 5 markers. This question can be of a 10 marker, so it can have means it can have various manifestations, either 10, it can have either 5, etc. Now look at this. World Wide Web is commonly known as the wave, is an information system where documents and other wave sources are identified by the Uniform Resource Locator. URLs such as the http example.com, such as what we can say, we say that look at this, this is your browser, let us say this is your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome, and over here we have your we have a box, and within this box you type your URL, and that will basically take you to the necessary website that you are searching for. Search engines such as the Firefox, Chrome, etc. helps in access to the website through the URL. Next, what are the components of a computer? See, the main components are the input devices, the processing unit, and the output devices. The input devices basically are those through which we feed the information. For example, your scanner, your keyboard, your mouse, your joystick. Joystick basically is nothing but you must have seen that people playing games with the video games and all. Now that particular is nothing but your joystick. Now, processing, it's your CPU. CPU is called the central processing unit. Central processing unit, its job is to process the data that you have fed and give you the output. Now, output devices are monitor and printer. These are nothing but that platform that actually displays your output that has been processed by your CPU or the processing unit. So from this we can see that we have basically three parts of the computer, that is the input, the processing, as well as the output. Next, write short note on the optical communication. See, optical communication, understand this again, is a type of communication in which light is used to carry the signal to remote end instead of the electric current. Simple, nothing else. Basically it says that optical communication can be of various types. See, we can also communicate optically through a torchlight. Consider this, I am standing over here and you're standing over there. Now through the torchlight I can use the blinking of the torchlight, means blink them for 1 second and then switch it off, again blink them for more 2 times, again switch it off. This can also become the form of the Morse code that can help you in communicating with other. Now this is something that you do not need to write, but I wanted you to understand that optical communication is diverse. We just know optical communication can happen in any kind of a method, and basically it's using the main source is nothing but it's light is the main source that is using the optical communication. Now this is the basic source that you can use this optical communication. Just type it and you can get the total information over the Wikipedia. Remember that this is a 5 markers question, so whatever you are picking up, just pick it one line only, and that particular one line should make some sense. Whatever you're writing, please read it yourself, or if whatever notes you're making, please read it yourself and say that at least you are able to understand what you have read it or what you have made the notes of. But if you're not able to understand what notes you have made yourself, then remember that the examiner is also not going to understand what notes you have made, because your understanding is not proper. Next, what is VSAT? See, VSATs are very short terminal aperture. Basically VSATs are mounted over here in your satellites. The satellites, there are VSATs. Again the VSAT, there is again the devices over here, there are this channels over here over the earth. One will receive and one will give the output. These are nothing but your VSAT. The VSAT, you can have a detailed information at your BYJU'S. They have given this VSAT in details. Next, how can we maintain the computer security? What are common virus? Sorry, the question was actually what are computer virus. This was basically a typing error. See, computer security basically stands for, first is that your strong password. There must be see how basically we can maintain the computer security. See, first and foremost, you need to have a strong password. Strong password, basically I'm explaining you this, but since this is a 5 markers question, please do not explain what is strong password. But if you want, you can. Strong password basically includes that having a caps lock in your name, or having a number attached to it, or having a symbol attached to it. This makes your password a strong password. And strong password should be something that is not very common to you, such as your phone number or your name. That should not be added into your password. Next, having an antivirus. See, most of all we know about the Quick Hill antivirus, we know about the Kaspersky, etc. But what is the role of this antivirus? This antivirus basically helps in detecting the malicious software. What is malicious? The harmful software that resides within the computer. Next, not accessing banned website. This is another important. People do have a habit of accessing websites, especially the pornographic websites. Now these websites are very dangerous as they can severely harm your computer security. Next, computer viruses. Computer viruses are nothing but are the type of program that has detrimental effect on the information stored in the computer. Example is your Trojan virus. Trojan virus is nothing but a, I would call it a Behrupia. Means you cannot know whether this is a virus or not. For example, someone has sent you a file in the email. In that file, basically, it's nothing but a PDF file. But within that PDF file itself, there could be a Trojan which would be hiding. The Trojan basically what it will do, it will pick away your information that is in your computer database or within your computer hardware, and it will supply it to someone else. And then what will happen is that your privacy will be compromised, and significantly you would be subjected to other cyber threats. So this is one of the reasons why do we need to secure the computer, the necessity of a computer security. So basically this were the questions. These are all 5 markers questions, so you have to be very careful with the words. Please maintain the word limit, do not exceed your word limit. Thank you. That will be all for today's class.